Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Barely Bookish podcast. Today, we are talking about the 1939 Wuthering Heights, and I am joined by Jen from In Her Good Books.
Hey, thanks for having
So much
me
better.
yet again.
Of course, of course. I'm ready to talk about a better movie with you.
Yes, it was so much better. Which I just feel
So
like a
much better.
movie from 1939 just shouldn't be that much better than
Yeah,
1992.
I know. I was shocked, actually. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh, I thought it was like the first scene that shows up. I think it's like, I don't know, snowing or whatever as Lockwood is showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a shock when you're used to watching more contemporary movies and then you watch
Mm-hmm.
one from 1939 and you're like, wow, this is old. Like,
Yeah.
it is a whole different thing. So at first it kind of took a little while for my brain to adjust because I was like, okay, no, this isn't a bad movie because it looks so incredibly fake. Like, this was probably good for 1939. This snowstorm is probably like top technical movie
Mm-hmm.
making. Yeah.
The thing I always have to remind myself is that era of movie making is still very heavily reliant on stage play, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of overacting,
Yeah.
and I'm like, chill, chill. But it's good enough that I was like willing to overlook it, but I kind of always forget that about that era, and I feel like I have to readapt
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
because I'm like, that's a lot of facial expressions, buddy. That's a lot of getting up and getting down. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yes.
So I also did not think about the fact that this would be in black and white since the promo cover photo of this was in color, which
Mhm.
is for a loop. I just
Yeah.
didn't think about that before.
Yeah. I didn't really realize that either. Yeah. But
The
I got
budget
used
for
to it.
this movie,
It's another thing
yeah.
that you have to kind of get used to, which is funny.
hmm
Yeah.
The budget for this movie must have been through the roof.
Yeah.
You know,
You know what? The costumes were really good. I love the costumes in this
yeah.
one.
The only thing I struggled with is Um, the casual wear that Kathy wears feels very 30s.
Mhm.
But outside of that, everything else was perfect. So I was like, I'll overlook that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess I guess when I say I like the costumes, I mean personally I would like to wear those costumes.
Mm-hmm. Mood.
Not necessarily that they were historically correct, but I approved.
Yeah, definitely more historically close, at least, than the 90s version, which was so 90s.
Oh, so funny.
I feel like it's just one of those things where maybe just in recent years, we're more not reliant, but we're more hypersensitive to things being at least somewhat close to being historically accurate. I just feel like that's something that gets brought up more now.
Yeah, it's not something I remember being concerned about back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Realistically, it doesn't even matter that much, but you know.
no, right? It really doesn't. But now we're all very invested in everything being correct.
Mm. Yeah.
Because now you can look up stuff really easily and find out when people aren't correct and you can let them know.
Mm-hmm. One thing I do want to talk about is how hot Heathcliff was in this movie.
I, he was a good looking man for
Mm-hmm.
sure, but I didn't like him as Heathcliff.
Fair.
He was
I
too
thought,
doe eyed, like too innocent
mm,
looking,
yeah.
too pretty. Uh, that I couldn't really believe that he was Heathcliff. But also, the Heathcliff in this movie doesn't get to the level of evil that Heathcliff actually does get to. because this movie they only did the first half of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really get to the part where Heathcliff is a monster.
Yeah. He's very doe-eyed throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like,
So he wasn't very Heathcliffy.
no, definitely not. He just followed Catherine around like a lost puppy the whole time, which like go off, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not the best look for like original Heathcliff. I do like that they actually used young actors and actresses for the children when they're supposed to be
Yes.
children.
I really liked young Kathy. I thought the
Mm-hmm.
actress that played her was really cute and did a good job. And Heathcliff as well. Um, Actually, I like the actress that played um, adult Kathy too. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was really really well done.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I think they like cast really well for like the aging up process.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this movie's pretty good. I'm not mad. I feel like the amount of care they gave the first half of the book, there's no way they could have crammed in the second part of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which
I'm
I
kind
was,
of fine with it.
yeah, I was okay with that because I don't, as much as I love the book, the second half of the book, I usually, if as I'm rereading it, I kind of stop and I don't continue on to the last half. I only did with you because I had to. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm kind of bored of these junior characters. I only want Heathcliff and
Yeah.
Kathy, so I was pretty happy that that's the only story we got.
The juniors, I feel like it's very convoluted very quickly.
Yeah, it's just not. No, it's not what I was there for. Um, so yeah, I definitely preferred that.
There was a lot of random slavery talk in this movie, though, which I was like, oh, the times. The
Uh,
times are coming out here.
yeah, there's always going to be some of that for sure. Ugh.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Um,
I will say that I kind of got bored a little bit, like
Me
around the
too.
middle. I kind of started being like, I don't know if I'm bored just because we've done so much Wuthering Heights now, or if this
Hmm.
is movie is boring. So I'd watch a little bit, and then I'm like, I just don't think. Again, the things that I like about it are like the drama, the
Hmm.
parts that I find funny. And again, this movie was not funny,
Yeah,
which I know it's not supposed to be funny, but I really think that I could make a really good Wuthering Heights movie. Like, I
I'd
think,
watch it.
yeah, I think I could nail it. And I was thinking as I was watching it, yeah, I know what I could do in this scene, and it would be
Hmm.
funny and dramatic and hot,
Mm.
and it would be great.
I'm
So,
just, I really feel like, yeah, by the end, I was kind of getting bored, to be honest. I was playing on my phone a little bit, which is why I only
mhm.
have notes really for the beginning part. I mean, I was watching. It's just
Yeah.
like, there's only so much of like doe-eyed Heathcliff I can really, you know,
Yeah.
stand. I mean, while the actor was hot, the actress was hot. Like, being pretty is not really gonna make the movie for me.
No. It was helpful, but I
Hmm.
wanted, I don't know, more passion, more
Yeah,
anger, more these people are supposed to be not good people. Like Kathy
I
and Heathcliff are
know.
supposed to be bad, and they weren't. They were regular, nice people who were in love and just kind of had a, not a great time, and then she died. And
Hmm.
that's fine, but I don't know. Needed just a little bit more oomph from it, but
Yeah.
definitely
This to
wasn't
me,
bad.
this to me feels like when people told me that Gone with the Wind was like a great American love story, and then I found out like literally nobody actually ends up liking each other at the same time.
Like, wait,
And
what?
that's the energy of that movie, this
Yeah.
movie for me.
Well, I think it's a little bit too like of the time, because when it was written, it was very like, oh, this is so scandalous and dark. I can't
Hmm.
even believe it. And in like 1939, I think people were still kind of like that.
Hmm.
So when they made the movie, they probably did tame it down quite a bit. Well, they
Yeah.
did tame it down quite a bit, but I think it was probably intentional that they didn't want to, scandalize anybody too much.
Yeah, there's like barely any violence, barely any aggression. Like I also feel it's one of those things where of the time period they can't show like woman rage
Mm-hmm.
either. So she just like all she wanted to do is be rich in this one, which she kind of wanted to do in the book, but like ish,
Mm-hmm.
like it was be rich, but also Heathcliff can come with me and I can have this selfish life and nothing's gonna change. Like that was like her thing. This one, she just wanted money
Yeah.
and she didn't really care who got it for her,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like, go girl, get your bag, but eh.
Eh. And then, like, the not the best part, but kind of, is when she decides that she's gonna die out of drama. And
Yeah,
that was like, it happened, but not really. I think it's
not really.
not really. She got an illness and died, and she wasn't dramatic about it at all.
No,
Well,
she
she
just had
was.
like this.
She did this weird, like, the only part of the movie that I really didn't like, especially with the Kathy character, that actress,
Mhm.
she did not do a very good job of pretending to be dying.
I know it was really
So
bad.
it was like, oh no. And then she just dies standing up with
Mm-hmm.
Heathcliff at the window. And I'm
Her
like,
arm drops.
okay. She's like, I see a light. Oh, Heathcliff. Blah.
Yeah.
It was it was very not good, but that's okay.
She had this big eyeball moment too that I
Mm-hmm.
hated so bad.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And then the funniest thing to me in this movie is like she gives Heathcliff one instruction after she gets her ankle taken out by this dog. She's like, "Go off, make money, come back. I'll be here. Like, I need you. I cannot live in poverty." Which, like, fair. You know what? Have your standard. It's fine. Like, I'm not gonna yuck your yum, okay? And then he gets confused why when she comes back she's mad at him. I'm like, she literally went away so that you would also go away, assuming that when she came back you would no longer be poor, but you came back early and didn't do anything. Like, of course she's mad.
Yeah, you had one job, Heathcliff. Come on.
Like, we're in an era where she literally can't do anything except marry money and, like, you know what, this girl's got standards. She's not gonna like live in poverty. Like, she's
No.
just not. No, she came from middle class. She's not going to poor.
But I just think it would have been such a I would have liked a story where they do go off, be poor, be terrible people together.
Yeah, I'd still read that.
Yeah.
I do like her being like, what are we gonna do if we both run away right now? Am I gonna go steal? I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, their options, they weren't really great. But I think in the end they could have figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, Heathcliff obviously figured, what do we, so he came back and he's like, oh, me, what did I do? Oh, I like found out that my dad was like he told the story that she made up, that
Mm-hmm.
like he comes from nobility. I'm like, what do we actually think he did?
Yeah, like, what is the story? Don't know.
Like, did he gamble and win? Did he, because I feel like it was implied that he went to like war or something in the actual book, because they like mentioned something that he like came back all strong and like all this stuff. Like, it felt like
Yeah.
he was like military-esque, militia-esque. And this one, they're like, oh, he went to America.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm like,
well, there's not anything in there for him to be rich on.
yeah,
Like, it's what did that do?
yeah. I don't know about that. Oh, and then in this one, he slapped Kathy, and I was like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah. Like
Like,
that's the
why?
one part piece of darkness they choose to give him.
And it's like also that's something he would never do
No.
either.
Yeah.
Like he would kill the entire Earnshaw family rather than slap Kathy. Like I was like, why? Why are
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, that did not make sense.
I didn't get it.
I feel like as we're talking about this movie, we're like, maybe it wasn't that good.
I know. It's like when you take a second to evaluate, and you're like, hold on.
Wait.
I think comparing it to the last one, it's definitely better.
Yeah. I
However,
don't
there is so much room for improvement.
yeah, I don't really know if it's 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Good,
Yeah.
but you know.
Someone has to have done something better. You
I
know?
know there's like a few other ones that I'm like, "Oh, that looks maybe that's promising." And I'm like, "I
Hmm.
don't know."
I need someone to tell me what the best one is at this point.
Mhm.
Like, I can't keep trusting the internet here.
No.
I saw that there was a 2011 one.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
was
the
like,
other one I was
okay.
looking at. I was like, I don't know. Seems risky now.
I know. I feel like we're too far in. Let's look at the Rotten Tomato score, which I don't even know if I can trust it at this point. But let's see. This is a 68%. Oh, audience scored at 47%.
Ugh.
So I don't think we're
Ugh.
on to high hopes.
Ugh. Someone needs to make a good one.
I know.
Like Baz Luhrmann should make one. Great Gatsby
What?
style.
Oh, okay. I was like, who? What have they made before? Let's look at the reviews for the 1939, and we're gonna go off that.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite things to do is look up the reviews.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of these people that are reviewing it just kind of like it because it's old.
Hmm. It's just giving them the vibe that they like.
Yeah, like this guy named Mike Macy said, destined for immediate success due to a stellar cast and a powerful story based on a lauded novel, which I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it's just like, mm,
Mm. Yeah, but what you think?
yeah, like it feels very much like these. Oh, these are the critics. Let's get away from the critics. Let's
Oh,
go
yeah.
to audience reviews. Okay, well, I should have read the honest reviews because the first person put, as a love of the book, the movie wasn't great. Entirely deleting three main characters, taking many liberties with the story, creating brand new plot devices instead of those from the books is maddening. Heathcliff slapping Kathy, parentheses, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
and Kathy not being elated at his return grieved me the most. Having said all that, the film making was impeccable, and for the most part, the casting was good. If you look at the movie to stand alone from the book, then it was worth the watch. Knowing the story as well as I do, though, it's really quite distracting. And that's from Ebony C.
Yeah, that reminds me about when Heathcliff returns and Kathy's just like, yeah, whatever. Please leave.
Yeah, and then she
And I
talks
was,
shit to him.
yeah. And
What?
I was like, what? No, she would not do that. And I really love that scene when he comes back and she's all hilarious and Edgar's like, don't be absurd, you're embarrassing me. Yeah, no, none of that. But I guess maybe because I know, like, say in Rebecca, they had to change the movie because they couldn't show someone like the husband killing his wife and
Yeah.
not getting like repercussions for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been like kind of the same thing, like they can't show a woman being excited about another man when she's married or something stupid like that.
I
That's
mean,
the only thing I can think of.
she still macked with him
Yeah,
though,
she did.
so
So maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know. But I was mad. I was like, all right, when is she gonna start getting excited? Never? Okay. Why is this scene happening then?
yeah, and then she like talks shit to Heathcliff, and then immediately talks shit to Edgar, and I'm like, pick your battles. Like, what are we doing? And then in this one, like rather than Edgar, like, okay, in the book, Edgar hates Heathcliff, but like, not really because he's poor, like a little bit, but like, that's not really his driving factor here. His driving factor is that he knows Catherine, like, loved him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of like a jealousy thing. And this, like, Edgar does not seem to think that like Catherine really has anything to do with him at all. Mostly, he's just like, ugh, poor people,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and it like kind of ruins Edgar for me.
Yeah. Like there's supposed to be this kind of like love triangle
Mm-hmm.
happening. And Edgar's just like oblivious, doesn't care.
Ew, the poverty line. Like, that's the energy he's giving. It's so bad.
Yeah.
What the heck, Rotten Tomatoes? We trusted you,
We
honestly.
did. Oh well. It was still fine. It was still I'm so glad I watched it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it again.
No, no. I'm glad I watched it for free.
Yes, that is the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best part, but that is helpful.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Isabella, like, immediately jumping on the kill Catherine, let Catherine die train. I was like, girl,
What the
what?
heck?
Like, she went from being chill to, like, running away, and immediately was like, kill Catherine! Shoot her! And I was like, what?
what
Girl, what?
what the heck? Yeah, her whole storyline was wrong,
Mm hmm.
incorrect.
Mm hmm.
Which I get it,
Really
but
bad.
yeah, I didn't love her.
No. No. I did think that the homes in this were a lot better.
Yes, they looked actually how I would imagine them to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what was going on with the 80s version. Really slept on those homes.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Not sure what
80s was
happened
like a
there.
castle. And
Yeah.
then this one was just a nice manor house, but that looked a
Mm-hmm.
little creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, I'm also watching someone on TikTok who just bought like a manor house that she's restoring because it was cheaper than buying an apartment in London.
Ugh.
I'm obsessed, but it's like, that's the way, like, I have a manor house in my mind, and I feel like um that lived up to it better.
Yes, definitely.
And it definitely showed more of the class difference, like, better than the 80s version did, because the 80s version like really played into this like poverty ish, where it's
Hmm.
like they were pretty starkly middle class, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I also forgot to mention that, like, at the beginning of the movie, Heathcliff's house is so nice and clean. Where was the
Yeah.
dirt?
Yeah. Right?
Like, that was supposed to be the whole point. Is Wuthering Heights is supposed to be like a little decrepit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Also, I don't know why it like threw me off when they said, "Oh, 100 years ago is when this story was supposed to be taking place." And I'm like, "What? I
Yeah.
guess."
What?
But it threw me for
Yeah.
a loop, you know?
Yeah, right? Um I'm just trying to remember now because the movie starts out okay. Heathcliff, Lockwood, and
Yeah.
then how do they end it? Heathcliff goes
With
out. Heathcliff. Oh yeah, Heathcliff takes off, and then
mm-hmm.
someone sees him walking with Kathy. They're dead ghosts.
Yep.
Okay, yeah,
Which is kind of how the book ended, so fine. I'm cool with
yeah.
it. I'll allow it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Not sure how I feel.
I feel medium.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
lukewarm. Pretty
yeah,
lukewarm.
yeah,
I wouldn't say that the tomatoes were rotten. I would say that they've seen better days. You know, they've been in the back of the veggie freezer for a minute.
yeah.
And if you probably don't use them tomorrow, I would just throw them, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. That is a good rating.
Someone needs to come out with something better. Do the
Yes.
Brontes better.
Yeah. Oh, I wish if only I knew anything about making movies. If I had any money,
Yeah.
any connections, I could do it. Yeah, I could.
Is there a Wuthering Heights like contemporary retelling
I
yet?
did I did see something, but it looked so terrible that
Oh,
I didn't look at it again, but I'm going to now
I
because
could
I
see
feel
someone doing a dark romance of this. I could see that happening.
yes. Oh, that'd be so good.
I'd read it.
Let's see.
I have probably 7 retellings of Pride and Prejudice back there, just so you know.
Oh yeah. Um yes, there was one oh a musical in 2003.
Hmm,
Uh I
I don't
don't
think so.
know. I
I
don't
don't
know
think
about
so at
that. But
all.
has Katherine Heigl, Erica Christensen, um other people that I don't know very well.
Don't think I know those names.
Oh, you're so young.
Well, they sound familiar, but like I'm really bad with actors and actresses' names. You have to tell me who they played, and then I'll get it.
Yes. Katherine Heigl is Izzy from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, okay.
Um, it it looks. It says it's also MTV Wuthering Heights,
No.
a
Oh
torrid
God.
love story. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know about that.
I would watch it for the joke.
Yeah, I might. Huh,
I'm a little curious, you know,
just a little bit. I wonder if
just a
there's a
wee bit.
trailer. I don't know. I'm gonna look up the trailer after this.
Yeah, I
My
feel like
phone's
that's
broken.
something I just need to know for sure. I feel like I don't have that much to talk about this.
It was just fine,
It was just fine.
except for the parts
Like,
that weren't. Yeah.
yeah, if if I really needed Wuthering Heights in my life, this might scratch the itch, maybe
Maybe. But
ish.
I think it'd be better just to read the first half of the book
Mm-hmm. And then just close it.
and then move on. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like watching TikToks about Wuthering Heights would get me there better than this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just wasn't the vibe, wasn't the energy we wanted. And I kind of hate that we're rounding it out on a sour note,
Yeah.
but
I will say that again, the scene where Kathy is telling Mrs. Dean about how marrying Heathcliff would degrade her.
mhm.
Again, it was really good, really well done in this movie. So I
Yeah,
think
I
that's just
liked
the
it.
best scene all
Yeah,
around in both. So yeah.
yeah, this one was very well done. I did like that in this one, um, because they had to meld the two Cathys together, that she liked Kathy. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was because it would have been weird if she hated Kathy and Kathy's like nice as can be.
Yeah. 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 She had to like her. But
But I think that's kind of all I've got on this one.
yeah. Yeah. Honestly. Honestly, me too.
Well,
That's a short one, but that's okay.
short one. It's okay. Sometimes that just happens like that. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's like 7 other hours of
Yeah.
Wuthering Heights content for you all out there. So
I guess join us for Secret Garden at some point. That's what we
yeah,
gotta
we'll
do
do that.
next.
Yes, we will. I can't wait.
So in 2 weeks, you can hear me talking about Frankenstein, and I found the original 1818 version, which I found out when I originally recorded the episode, the first episode. I was reading the wrong version, so
Oh
we have
no.
gotten the original. and you can see that in 2 weeks. But Jen, where can the people of the internet find you and your podcast?
We are In Her Good Books podcast, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, or you can find us at In Her Good Books podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
So make sure to take a listen, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.